good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, everyone. We hope it is good. Welcome to another edition of Geeks Who Like Sports. As always, I am Ray Carsillo in beautiful Los Angeles, California. Joining the rest of the entire world back over in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Lee Elias. Lee, how are you doing today? How's the rest of your trip, buddy?
Ray, the trip was great. We had a great time with my family. I spent the last couple of days at work just trying to catch up. But Ray, I have an important micro content question of the week. You can see how I keep changing these. Ray, the date we're recording this, it's August 27th, Tuesday,
Yes.
August 27th.
Yes.
Some things I've noticed here. Starbucks has brought back the pumpkin spice latte earlier than people are walking around in flannel shirts with fall colors. People are acting like it's fall. There was a couple of cool days here. We call that false fall here in Philadelphia. But Ray, we have to ask the audience in this micro clip, is it too early? Don't answer yet. Because I honestly can't decide. I love the fall. It's my favorite season. All right, but I can't tell if this is just a huge tease and it's annoying me, or I actually want to dive in and feel like fall. But I can't wear a flannel out because it's still 90 degrees every day.
Yeah, it's
I'm
90 degrees. Yeah.
He's a t-shirt and shorts here, but I'm drinking a hot coffee. Yesterday, Ray, Starbucks, one of my cinnamon dolce latte. I get it almost every time I'm there. You know what I got by mistake, Ray? Pumpkin spice latte. And I get, they gave me a pumpkin spice latte. I drank it. I'm like, this is pretty good. I kept drinking. This is a pumpkin spice latte. Pumpkin fall. And then today, Ray, I'm sitting on my desk here, and for some reason my brain's like, oh, it's dark outside. It's getting dark outside. Like, it's not dark. It's August. The sun's still going down really late in the day. I'm looking out the window right now. The sun's up. What is going on? Are we deciding as a nation, as a marketing, commerce-based nation, that we have decided fall must be extended? It is the greatest season, the best sports, the best food, the best drinks, the mostly best holidays, the best outfits, the best temperatures. Can we not, Ray, make fall extend? And literally we could do that just by moving to England because that's mostly fall there throughout the year. But in America, no. We must stand up united. And this November 5th, Ray, you got to go to the polls and you got to vote for FALL resolution and make fall the only season. Comment below if you agree.
No, it is not fall. It's not even close to fall.
Are you actually answering the question?
I'm answering the question. This is my response. Stop it. I am so sick of everybody. First off, stop extending Christmas so there's no Thanksgiving. Yeah, stop extending Halloween to freaking Labor Day. Yeah, okay, I love Halloween. Yeah, I love Thanksgiving. I love Christmas. Yeah. They have their own dedicated months.
Right.
Literally. Fall at the
one right after the other, actually. Like one leads to the other.
October, November, December. It's literally one right after another. We don't need to extend this to the point where I already saw, to your point, I saw Halloween stuff out already.
Yeah, it's weird.
August. Yeah. It's summertime. It's beach time. It's 90 degrees out. I don't even want to see a pumpkin until at least the day after Labor Day, which I know we're getting close to, but at least until September. But honestly,
fair. It's fair. Well, and here's the other thing I'll say, Ray. I actually agree with you, and I'll tell you why. Because I think that when you create these bulbous ranges, you take away from the joy that is that first crisp fall day.
And you know what it all is too? It's all just corporate greed, because all they're trying to do is to make you sell more stuff sooner. Buy more candy, buy more pumpkins, buy more turkey, buy more presents. They have their own dedicated months.
I mean, that pumpkin spice latte is pretty good.
But I know it's good, but you can wait for it.
It's like the McRib. You get it when it's around. It's really, really bad for you, but damn it, isn't it good?
I'm actually not a fan of the McRib.
Well, this is going to be the last episode of Geeks Who Like Sports. We appreciate you all listening. Now, listen, answer the question for those of you watching. Is an honest question, right? And I think Ray and I are on the same page. I'm okay waiting for fall. I appreciate that the longer you wait, I think the more you enjoy it. But are you there? Is it fall all the time? Do you want it to be fall all the time? Are you all right with these things coming earlier and earlier every year? Or do you just need them to go back to normal? Ray makes a great point. Everything's getting earlier. It is August. If you go back 20 years and said, hey, the fall starts in August, people would give you like a, huh?
Yeah.
It's August. It doesn't even start till October.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Technically, fall does not start till the last week of September.
Look, technically, actually not technically, Christmas is in early winter, really early winter, like the first 2 weeks of winter.
The first week of winter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people forget that. Like Christmas is
Yeah.
borderline right after the fall. So, that's why I said, look, I'm going to say it one more time. Fall is by far the best season for overall enjoyment. I'm talking about food, apparel, sports, temperature. I enjoy it more than any other season. I know there's the summer heads out there like, I love the beach and I love the heat. Great. I like chilled ice hockey mornings, afternoons, and evenings wearing my dark, depressing clothes because, as our producer says, we're sad too. I'm Lee Elias. I'm a delegate of the Fall Coalition. We'll see you this November 5th at a local poll. Local poll? North Pole.
The North Pole.
Perfect ending to that segment.
Yes.
What an opening. Anyway, what an opening that was.
What an opening. Look at that. Already tackling the hard-hitting topics of the day.
Listen, this is what people really want to argue about, Ray. They don't want to argue about politics. They want to argue about why is it fall in August?
Yes.
When is the first day of fall? When is Siri?
I'm going to say it's September 20. I think it's September 21st.
The September equinox is Sunday, September 22nd.
22nd. I was very close this
year. That's a month away.
Yes, a full month away. Calm down. Hold your pumpkins, folks.
I just love the calm down. Yeah. Everybody needs to calm down.
I'm telling you to calm down, that says something.
When I can walk outside and not just sweat for no reason, that's a sign that fall's coming.
Then it's fall. Yeah. Right? Like if I go outside and get an instant tan, it's still summertime.
If it's Philly. If someone's not burning leaves somewhere, it ain't fall.
There you go.
The very distinct smell that's for some reason everybody loves it because it means fall's here, but it's also probably not great.
Yeah, probably kind of noxious. Great. Probably noxious.
But I tell myself that's what they did in colonial times, and it's okay.
Fair enough.
I'm in one of the original.
Technically, I mean, even out here in California, a controlled burn is a good thing. The problem is that when you don't do controlled burns, then you accidentally get a spark and you get a real big out of control burn.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's called the state of California burn.
Yeah, it's called. Yeah, it's
gives you heartburn.
Yeah, I don't have heartburn too much anymore, fortunately, knock on wood. I've been eating better.
Say that. You're almost 40, dude. Anyway, we should probably move on to the geeks and sports stuff. But
we should actually.
That was a good discussion we had to have. We need the value to bring to the people, Ray, and that's what we do on this show.
For sure, absolutely, we always do. And you know what? Speaking of bringing the value to the people, we're going to kick it off with our sponsor of the week. Again, EA Sports, the MVP edition.
You said it wrong. You got to say it right.
EA Sports.
We're going to start this segment again. Hey, guys, we got a deal for you. Ray, tell them about it.
Yes, so our sponsor of the week is once again brought to us by EA Sports.
It's in the game. Thank you.
The MVP bundle edition of Madden NFL 25 and College Football 25, which of course are out now, and we are giving away our final Xbox Series X copy. We gave one away on TikTok to Moody and to Douglas Rudy. Those are their handles. Congratulations to those guys. And now the third and final copy that we're giving away is going to be Instagram user Will Can't Shoot. Congratulations, Will. You are our final Xbox EA Sports Madden NFL 25 and College Football 25 MVP Bundle Edition winner. We really appreciate everybody who's followed us, who's joined the Geeks Who Like Sports community over the last week. I hope you guys stick around. We're going to be doing a lot more of this stuff, hopefully, as the weeks go on and continue. Maybe not with EA Sports. There's a whole lot of video games coming out this year. But we really appreciate EA for giving us those codes for Xbox, and we really hope the community enjoys it. We really hope you guys, really get into the game. And let us know what you think of the games. Commenting below. Let us know what you think of them.
We'll be here with you all fall when it starts.
Yes, all fall when the fall starts. So congratulations to Will Can't Shoot over on Instagram. He is our final winner of our Madden and College Football MVP Bundle Edition giveaway.
Merry Christmas Kwanzaa, my friend. You have won the bundle.
Happy fall.
Happy fall. You did it.
You did it. But yeah, so congratulations to him. And again, thank you again to EA Sports for giving us the codes. We really appreciate that. So moving on now, we will be talking football later in the show. We have a big show for you, everybody, folks. We got a little bit of Caitlin Clark. We got a little bit of Universal Studios. We got a little bit of we got some movie news and video game news. But we're kicking things off. It's been a big week for baseball.
Yes, the Phillies, Ray, are back on their game, surging to the top of the NL. They found that they had a horrible July, but now they're hitting home runs again and playing small ball. The Phillies have returned. And that's the baseball segment for today.
Yes, and I know we've got a lot to talk. We've got a lot to talk about.
Just the Phillies today. We're not talking about anything else but the Phillies. I'm going to keep interrupting you. The Phillies.
There's about 30 games left for every team in the league, and we basically, as usual, the cream of the crop rises to the top. Houston has taken over the American League West pretty handily. As they've gotten healthy, the Yankees have re-woken up. They're 18-9 in their last 27. The Phillies, to Lee's point, continue to have a stranglehold on the NL East. The Brewers are running away with the Central. It's pretty much a given for them. The Dodgers trying to fight off the Padres and Diamondbacks. It still looks like it'll be the Dodgers division, but it basically is almost clinched that it's going to be the Padres and Diamondbacks getting wild card spots. And really the only question at this point now, barring, again, somebody getting like a 20-game winning streak and somebody having a collapse, really the only two teams that are still vying for the National League wild card are the Braves, who have the inside track with a 3-game lead over the Mets, who again started to met a lot lately. So, Lee, before we go to the American League, what's your quick thoughts on the National League here? We're in the home stretch of the regular season, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say again, kind of half joking. As a Phillies fan, I'm glad to see them get back on their stride. We talked about this a few episodes when they were really having a hard time. I said, look, if you're gonna have a slump, July is the time to have a slump.
Yes.
As long as you can find your footing again, they've clearly found it. They are winning games by 10 runs again against good competition. So that's fun to watch. But as you said, Ray, like the cream is rising to the top. Ray, it's funny perspective because for so many years my team was not really a playoff eligible team. And you lose interest in baseball around this time when your team's not doing well. Like if there's any White Sox fans listening, I'm just kidding. There isn't.
But still, second fastest team to 100 losses, folks.
Yeah, it's brutal. White Sox fans, I do actually feel for you. But the cream rises to the top as it should. This is the time of the year in the AL too to help you transition out of this.
Yeah.
You want to see the best teams now competing. Like again, they're never going to shorten the season, but you can see who's there now. And this is like the season could end today and it would be fine. Because I think the only team to have an epic collapse, like the one you alluded to, is the Mets.
Yes. It's pretty consistent. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that, or if you have to go back to like, I think it was the 04 Rockies or 07 Rockies.
It's happened.
Who literally won 23 games in a row to end the season to get the last wild card. Like, barring some kind of miracle like that.
Yeah,
you're basically
it's possible. It's possible.
It's absolutely possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, the American League, it looks like Houston's going to win the West again. Really just best record in baseball since June 1st. The Yankees have opened up a 2-game lead on the Orioles. Yeah. Whoever gets second place in that division will obviously get a wild card. And then Cleveland, Minnesota, and Kansas City look to be the 3 teams. Kansas City, young bats, veteran pitching staff, only a game back of Cleveland for first place in the American League Central. We got a race on our hands there, folks. Again, it's pretty much clinched who's going to win. The 6 teams in the American League are pretty much clinched. It's just a matter of who's going to finish where. Boston still has an outside chance of maybe catching Minnesota. Maybe Seattle's got an outside chance of catching somebody. But we're talking at this point, everybody has at least a half dozen games lead for that last wild card spot. So the American League is pretty much,
I do want to say, just because you just said it, the Phillies beat the Astros yesterday, destroyed the Royals in a 3-game series, and then won 2 out of 3 against the Braves. If that's not your team being back, I don't know what is. And we're not talking the last 3 games against the Royals, Ray. Phillies lost the first game 7-4. I apologize. Then they won 11-2 and 11-3. Yeah, and that's pretty dominant. I'm sorry, I didn't read that wrong.
No, but still taking 2 out of look. Kansas City's gonna be a playoff team this year.
Yeah, I did. They're there. And we're playing the Astros, and then we're playing the Braves again right away.
Well, there you go, wrapping up the season series with a lot of these teams. But so that's where the standings are. A lot of great stories though around baseball. We're gonna kick things off with a doubleheader in Boston. Red Sox and Jays. And actually, the first game of the doubleheader was suspended in the second inning. And the reason why this is notable, and if they picked it up here the other day, is that Danny Jansen was the catcher at the plate for the Blue Jays when the game was suspended. Since that game was suspended, Danny Jansen got traded to the Red Sox. So basically, because of the way all this all works, Danny Jansen now had to be inserted into the game for Boston because the catcher who was playing for Boston has been DFA'd, and somebody had to pinch hit for him for Toronto. And Danny Jansen now has the distinction of being the only man in baseball history to play in the same game for both teams. That again, folks, the same man technically played in the same game because of the suspended status of that game that they then picked up later and played for both teams. He caught for Toronto for the first inning, and then he caught for Boston the last 8 innings. Lee, what are your thoughts on this little quirky, fun little thing here with baseball?
Yeah, it's really the only way it could happen, unless somehow, and this is technically possible, that if a player got traded in the middle of a game, I guess they could go get changed and show up for the other team, although that would be really, really awkward.
Yeah, I've seen it in the series.
I've seen people pulled from a game. I've seen people pulled from
I think it was like the Pirates and like the Cubs or something years ago or whatever, and like literally like the dude showed one day he was in Pittsburgh uniform, the next day he was literally across the field in the Cubs uniform. Like it just like it happens.
I've seen that, and I've seen guys taken off the field in the middle of a game, but never to play in the same game. So it's a Jeopardy question. It's pretty cool, pretty interesting, pretty weird.
Yes.
Caveat of the game again, it could only happen with a delay like that. So interesting, interesting. And this is Jeopardy.
Jeopardy. Another Jeopardy question maybe in the future is Shohei Ohtani. Shohei became the fastest man ever, took the fewest amount of games to reach the 40-40 club. 40 stolen bases, 40 home runs this year for Shohei Ohtani, which is, of course, is a great accomplishment for him. Lee, is Shohei the National League MVP, even though he's a DH?
Ask me in 30 games. I mean, look, he's certainly in the running for it right now. I mean, it's gonna be an interesting conversation. I do think that as of today, sure, but that could change based on the things that, I mean, if the Dodgers go 500 the rest of the way, no.
No, well, I mean, that's the thing. And actually, right now, he would not be my vote for MVP.
Who would you be picking? Bryce Harper?
I mean, I would put. No, I'm being serious. I would put Ohtani third, and I would put Marcell Ozuna first, who's basically been carrying Atlanta, and who, by the way, is currently, I think, only a home run or a behind Ohtani for the Triple Crown. Ozuna's going to win the batting title, which, by the way, this is actually pathetic in the National League, but that's not surprising because it's the National League. There's only 2 hitters in the entire National League who have a batting average above 300 this year. That's not one of them being Marcell Ozuna, who's hitting 307. And I only mention that because in the American League, you do have several. Bobby Witt Jr. is hitting 347. Aaron Judge is hitting 334. You have like a lot of not everybody's hitting over 300, and offense is down around baseball, but that's a real market sign when your top hitter is hitting 307 in the entire league.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
But I would say Ozuna, Harper, and then Ohtani.
Yeah, look, Harper's in the race. He had a tough couple months there, which is why I don't think he's going to win it unless he surges here. That's why I said what I said. If he ends up surging the final 30 games, that could change the votes. I think Ohtani's going to win it because he's Ohtani, and they're going to want him to be the guy. New team, vaulting them to success. They're top 3 teams in the league. I do acknowledge how hurt Atlanta is.
Yes,
but they're not winning the way they need to win. So like to me, look, MVP isn't just about singular stats. It's about what is the team doing, because look, I know Bryce Harper pretty well from a fan standpoint. He's doing a lot more for that team than just at bat.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you see him with his arms around his teammates. You see him being a most valuable player.
Yeah.
If we're only basing it on stats, then just do what the NHL does and have awards for stats. I mean,
for sure.
This is a voted award. So I think that it's undeniable what Ohtani has done for the Dodgers. I don't think that's an understatement, right? He has made them, as of right now, the top 2 NL teams in the league.
Yeah.
But with that said, Phillies are having potentially the greatest season they've ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be recognition for that too.
And it also needs to be recognition again on this. Why I'm also saying Ozuna is that I don't think Atlanta would even be in the wild card spot if it wasn't for him.
No, they're so
And
injured. It's amazing
yeah,
they're even there. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And I'll also say this: the reason why I also even put Harper maybe a little bit higher is because Harper, unlike those two guys, Ozuna and Ohtani, plays the field.
Yeah, big time. That's a big one too.
I know.
Yeah.
People are gonna be like, "Oh, but he's like a DH matters." I'm not saying the DH doesn't matter, but it matters a little bit. It gives you a little more of an edge, I think, if you play the field.
MVP.
Yeah.
Most valuable player. I mean, again, we dance around the meaning of that. If it's just going to be the best batting average or the most home runs,
yeah.
I mean, to me, it's not a great way to pick an award. They play into it for sure.
Sure.
Guy's playing first base.
Yeah.
Harper, I'm talking about, just for anybody.
Yes.
Plays first base. It's not like he's an outfielder here. He's playing arguably one of the most important field positions in the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right? So anyway, I'll be honest with you. At the end of the day, Ray, I don't think any of those guys care. I think that they want to win the World Series.
Yes,
more than anything. I think
that is first and foremost. Yes.
Harper and Ohtani have both had MVPs. They're not looking for that. They want to win.
Yeah, I mean, Ohtani said it when he hit the 40-40 mark. He's like, look, if this is just something on the path to winning a World Series, then that's great.
Yeah, well, if I'm not mistaken, this will be his first time in the playoffs, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Did they have a wild card game with the Angels?
No. The Angels have been absolutely horrible his entire time there. So
that'll be really interesting to see if he's still Ohtani.
If he's still Ohtani, yeah.
And I'm sure he would be.
He was in the World Baseball Classic. If you want to,
I have no doubt. But you've seen that happen. I mean, look, that's what happened to the Braves last year. They were fantastic, and they were not a postseason team. They did not have the energy. And then the Diamondbacks, credit to them, they showed up. I mean, postseason baseball is really fun. I wish I had done it more in my youth.
Yeah, it is. It's all right. It's all right. I know. I know. Don't dwell on it. It's okay, buddy. Yeah, and in the American League, I mean, I'm not even being a biased Yankee fan here. I think Aaron Judge is going to run away with the MVP.
If he doesn't, then what the hell are we doing?
Yeah,
I mean that.
And even though you mentioned as an outfielder, like he robbed another home run last night, like in Washington. Like he's doing it with the glove, and obviously he's on pace to again hit 60.
He is the most dominant player in the American League. I don't think there's much of a question there.
I appreciate what Bobby Witt is doing in any other. That's the thing. Any other year, it probably is Bobby Witt. And by the way, any other year, if it wasn't for Judge and Witt, it would be Juan Soto. That's the thing. Is you're seeing some real stellar play from some individuals in the American League across the board, and it's really fun to watch.
But Judge is just. I mean, if there was no Ohtani, that's who we'd be talking about all the time. Let's put it
all the time. Yeah. So,
but there isn't Ohtani.
There isn't Ohtani. You mentioned Kansas City a couple of times here. This is actually a great story. This is like 90s kids baseball movie story where a bunch of kids are in their backyard playing wiffle ball. And Sal Perez, it's on his off day. He's driving around Kansas City. For those who know, Sal Perez, the all-star catcher for the Royals. Really the only guy still around from their 2015 World Championship team. Now a veteran, probably going to be a Hall of Famer. And he gets out of his car. He's like, hey, kids, let me get in that bat. And he plays 5 innings with the kids. Could you imagine, think about it. Like, think of one of your favorite ball players. Think if, I don't know, if you're playing ball and John Kruk gets out of his car and says, hey, let's play some ball, right? Or for me, like Don Mattingly or whatever, right? Whoa, I mean, that would blow your mind as a kid. How awesome
the first thing I would do is call my parents and say, hey, there's a stranger talking to me at the baseball field. I don't know who this is. He came out of a white van. The license plate is here. He's a little... No, listen. I love players endearing kids like this. There are so many stories of a guy tossing a baseball, tossing a puck, making that just 1 second connection with a kid.
Yeah.
And I think that while it's not the responsibility of professional athletes to promote the game, it is a desired outcome from all professional athletes. It's not their job to do that. Their job's to play the game. But when you can make kids fall in love with the game, and believe me, when an MLB player gets out and plays with you, you're going to fall in love with that game.
Yeah.
All right. The power that these athletes have, men and women, is astounding. And I think that when they use it for good like that, it's just a fantastic story and it's a feel-good moment. And I'm not going to lie to you, Ray, we need more feel-good moments in this country right now. especially with what's coming up in November. Sports is the primary place to offer those moments of joy. And if they can continue to find ways to do this, and I think athletes are coming out of their shells a little bit, it's a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a story that when I saw this immediately was like, this is just phenomenal.
Right.
And wish we heard about this stuff more. Well, we're gonna go on a roller coaster here first, because now we went from a high, we're gonna go down to a low, we're gonna bring it back to a high, but we're gonna bring it to a low now. The Jay Littleton ballpark here in California, which is kind of famous out here. It has a great history. It's where they shot 8 Men Out. It's where they shot A League of Their Own.
Films.
Really, really legendary ballpark. Very old school ballpark, mostly made of wood. And it burned down this past week.
Mm-hmm.
It burned down
in a controlled fire in California. They decided to burn it down.
No.
But you said controlled fires are good, right? And
but this wasn't a controlled fire. This was
it was a fire. Period.
They are attributing it to the homeless who have taken up residence had taken up residence in the ballpark, and that a bonfire or barrel fire got out of control and burned the entire thing down. And it went up in, again, it's old dry wood. Yeah. And it went up in minutes. So we lost a piece of history. So
it is unfortunate that the ballpark burned down. And it's unfortunate that there are people down on their knees right now that no one's helping. Both of those are unfortunate things.
Yep. California really continues to drop the ball on that.
I completely agree with you. It's one of the things that several states, I'll attribute to the whole country. We don't do a great job taking care of our own.
No, it's very true.
I wish we would do better with that. One of the things I try and do with my kids, this happened in Puerto Rico, which technically part of America, but we went into a Walgreens. There's a guy sitting outside. I bought him a bottle of water. And, my kids saw that, and, I wasn't telling them that I did it, but they saw, like, why'd you do that? I'm like, you might be thirsty. And no one should ever have to sit outside of Walgreens waiting like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I encourage you listening, look, obviously always be safe. If you're uncomfortable, you don't have to do anything. But if you see someone outside and you can get them a bottle of water, get them a bottle of water, get them a sandwich, get them something. It's just human decency.
Yep.
All right. You can take care of these people as long as they're not being egregious or trying to do something to you. Always be safe. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's how I met Ray.
And now look at us.
And now look at where we are.
And he's still giving me bottles of water when he can.
I do. Flavored water, mushroom water, doesn't work no matter what I give him. So.
Yeah, actually, speaking of mushrooms,
wow, what a transition. The Mushroom Kingdom. We're going to
Mushroom. No, I started drinking this. I'll give a full report. I'm supposed to drink it for 30 days. I started drinking this mushroom coffee.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be good for your gut.
It's probiotic.
It's probiotic. And I'm 3 days in and I'm feeling a whole heck of a lot better.
That did not go where I thought you were going with it, which is great.
No, yeah. I'll say this. You say the hard part is it tastes like dirt.
Oh yeah.
But I feel better after drinking it. So
I just take a probiotic pill.
Yeah, you're probably doing things the easier way than I am.
Oh yeah. That's you and me in a nutshell right there, bud.
Yeah. I see. The thing is, I used to take so okay. We're gonna go on a real tangent. I used to take probiotic pills, but I didn't feel like I was getting. I didn't feel like they were working.
Okay.
But I feel like this is working. I don't know.
Listen, joking aside, if it's working, keep doing it. That's what matters. Yeah, you don't like pills anyway, so
yeah.
No, I've been on probiotics. This is turning into a geriatric hour, but I
thought you were gonna be old.
I thought you were gonna be like, I drank some mushroom water before this episode, and I don't really know where I'm at right now. I just know that Shohei Ohtani is the starting batter for the Mushroom Kingdom, and that he's got to fight Sonic by the end of this episode, or we're all gonna die. I was waiting for that moment, but it didn't happen.
Did not happen. Not those kind of mushrooms, folks. No. Sorry to disappoint.
We're too good at broadcasting.
We are too professional. Yes. But anyway, we're wrapping up our final baseball story.
It's another downer.
Going back to an upper. Speaking of a place where a lot of people do mushrooms, I do believe, going down to Florida.
Wow, that was a great transition.
Thank you.
Florida man. Go ahead.
Florida man. But no, not Florida men. But the Lake Mary, Florida Little League baseball team won the World Series against Chinese Taipei, which in stunning fashion, it went extra innings. And I don't know if you folks saw this. Basically, the winning run was on second base with nobody out. And playing small ball, playing smart baseball. The hitter for Lake Mary laid down a bunt to first base. and the pitcher for Chinese Taipei picked it up and threw it towards first. But the problem is the first baseman had charged it as well, the bunt, and the second baseman was not covering first. The ball goes into right field. The runner from second scores all the way from second. And Lake Mary, Florida are your Little League World Series champions. It is the first time that a team from Florida has won the Little League World Series. So another uplifting story here to finish off. We take you on a ride, folks. We start high. We then go down low.
Is this uplifting?
I mean, I think kids won the Little League World Series.
I felt so bad for that kid. Now, like, this is what I'll say from a coaching standpoint. There's a few things when I dissect this play. One, good on Florida for having the awareness of the situation and scoring that run. That's just good baseball. Like, I'm not faulting anybody. The kid who threw it away, I feel horrible for.
Sure.
And look, there's no point in the finger. There's a lot of different things that went wrong on that play.
Sure. And again, the second baseman didn't cover. The first baseman.
A lot of things happened.
Yeah. Everybody.
A lot of things happened. They're kids. All right. I mean, this is what happens when you have kids. What I feel bad for is that pitcher must feel like he lost his team this game when it's really not the case. I'll give his coach credit. Went right to the kid and hugged him and said, "This is okay." In fact, players from the Florida team, I get a little teary-eyed even thinking about it. They went up to him and just like, "Yo, dude, you don't put this all on yourself." The other thing, I don't want to blame the announcer. He had to call the game.
Sure.
But it's like there was a little lack of awareness. Like, he threw it away. I'm like, oh, dude, this clip is gonna live with that kid forever.
Yeah.
It would have been better if they might have said, like, and first base has been left unattended. Like, that would have been
Like, it's hard in the moment.
It's so hard. And that's why I said I'm not pointing the finger at him. Like if in a major league game, that's what you would say.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is a lot of times now, especially with ESPN covering it, it's major league announcers, but they become going down to the Little League World Series.
Like, these are kids. And the thing is that, like, I don't know what that kid's future is in baseball, but I mean, he just made the biggest error in the history of his life from a sports perspective. He's got to live with that. And I'll tell you right now, from a coaching standpoint, Ray, I've had plenty of losses. I mean, I've been really blessed with wins in my life. I mean that. I've been really blessed with championships, but I've lost too, and they suck. It hurts. The losses stay with you actually a little more than the wins, to be honest with you. I mean, I have my way of compartmentalizing that, but I'm an adult, and I also know that the complete despair and horrible feeling of losing, I know that dissipates after time. When you're a kid, you don't really know that. You think it's going to last forever.
Yeah.
And I just hope someone told that kid, this is tough. Like, this hurts. But we're a team, and we didn't lose because of that play. We lost on that play, but we didn't lose because of the play. And, you did a great job tonight in the World Series.
Yeah.
Right. But to me, it's like, oh God, my heart went out to that kid. I felt so bad for him, Ray. I was like, gee. And the shot of him throwing it to first and then just like, oh my God, what did I just do?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that broke my heart. I felt so bad. But with that said, USA World Series. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Chinese Taipei did a great job there.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It just broke my heart. I felt so bad for that kid. I really did.
Yeah. No, I mean, I understand that too. Like, it's just, from a baseball play, it broke down, and happens.
It's the ultimate high and low play, right?
Yeah.
Like, and again, look, there wasn't enough said about the heads up play of Florida in that situation.
Yeah.
It
was great. It was great baseball. It was great baseball. The kid laid down. And the thing isn't that too, the pitcher had to hurry it because it was a perfect bunt.
It was. Like, it was well done. It was I don't want to take anything away from Florida for the execution of that play. That kid could have got held up at third because look, like, the right fielder did get the ball home. It just was late.
Yeah.
Right. So like if that kid held up 1 second, there's
he might be gone down. There could have been, so much more could have happened that play.
It's amazing heads up baseball, which I know we preach in Little League. But drama, sports drama, right? Amazing
at
stuff.
all levels. Amazing stuff. Speaking of amazing, but again, congratulations.
To
Lake Mary, Florida. We're going over to the WNBA now.
Yes, we are, because Ray, Caitlin Clark continues to bless us with proving us right.
Yes. Caitlin Clark has become the fastest player in WNBA history to get to 300 points, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists
Not
in
good
her
enough
career.
for Team USA.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, and by the
I
way,
think
and her
proven.
Indiana Fever right now are holding onto the 7 seed right now in the playoffs.
They will clinch a playoff spot. I think that it has been proven that she's not a flake. She's not going to be good.
Yep,
She's
not a fluke.
She's If she doesn't win Rookie of the Year, that's political at this point. It's nothing against Angel Reese, who's having a great season as well.
Yes, she's also doing a phenomenal job.
But this is not, to me, this isn't really. I mean, if they could both win, I wish they could. But Caitlin Clark's on pace to do that. Taking the Fever to the playoffs. The Fever, worst team in the league last year. I think we're being gifted, Ray, with a bit of a Michael Jordan replay here in a lot of ways. I mean, when Jordan came into the NBA, Bulls were not great. They didn't win for a while. Obviously it was Jordan versus Bird at that time a little bit. Maybe some Magic too towards the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think this could be almost more like Magic and Bird almost.
That's actually probably a better analogy. But this is pretty cool. I mean, if you're not watching this, I mean, you can't be a basketball fan and not be interested in this.
Yeah, no,
unless something's wrong with you.
It's been a phenomenal year so far, although I do have to say my New York Liberty are the number 1 seed, and have already clinched a playoff berth at 26-5.
And my Philadelphia does not exist team.
Does not exist.
I'll be saying that one day.
That's going to happen. At least not yet. But the Liberty, the Sun, and the Minnesota Lynx have all clinched. Then right now, Vegas, Seattle, Phoenix, Indiana, and Chicago would both make the playoffs. There's the 7 and 8 seeds right now. If the season ended today,
to see viewership of the WNBA playoffs this year, it's going to be earth shattering.
Yeah, it's going to go through the roof. I think I agree, 100%. Moving on now to football,
the foosball.
And next week we'll also do, by the way, our full full preview for the season, because next week football starts.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you, Ray. I'm very excited about the NFL. I enjoy the NFL as a fan so much. I have a hard time, this is gonna sound really weird, watching the preseason, because I don't want the tease. I want the same football.
Way. I'm the same way.
When Eagles fans, Minnesota killed us. They killed us, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about the preseason.
I watched a little bit of the Jets and Giants preseason game, which the Giants fumbled the opening kickoff.
Yes,
and I'm like, I'm done. I'm good.
Yes.
Especially because we didn't play any of our starters. I wanted to see Daniel Jones if he continued to suck, and they didn't even play him at all. Which boggles my mind because he sucks.
He's pretty bad. There was a great SNL joke the other night.
We're getting the Danny Dumpster Fire stuff started early.
Oh no, yeah. Well, let's save it. Because it's coming. The Ray rants are coming. There was a great.
That's how you know it's fall.
That's how you.
That's when you know it's fall.
Ray is depressed and angry, and he's intolerable and irritable. It must be fall.
Yes.
Cue the music. There was a great SNL skit the other night where I guess they found an ancient Roman scoreboard for something, right? Like a score box.
Right.
And then they went on to say, and the results of it were that the Romans beat the Jets 37-0. It was really funny. I thought that was really good. Anyway, fun little sports segment this week. I'm definitely ready for football to come back. I've always said this to you, Ray, and you know this about me. Hockey is my life's work in a lot of ways, outside being a parent and a husband.
Yeah.
Hockey is my realm. I love it. I am always humming on some frequency of hockey. But football, I get to be a fan of. Baseball, I get to be a fan of. But I love the Phillies. I do. But I don't watch any baseball game. I watch the Phillies. Football, whoo.
Everything.
Man, I love football.
I'm the same way.
I love football. Yeah.
Same way.
I would like to extend the offer to you once again, my friend, to be the official couch potato of this office. We will buy the NFL packages, and we can watch them. And then in the off time, we can play Madden. By the off time, I don't have off time, but there's a couch, there's a TVA, there's a TV, and I'll get you whatever you need, and you can just sit here and watch football.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Well, I'll consider it. But yeah, there's some football news today.
Listen, real quick, Ray. The job requirements are pretty tough because it is an open position, but you have to be named Ray Carsillo. You have to live in Los Angeles. You have to be very irritable, and you have to have to know me for 20 years.
Oh, well, I fit that perfectly.
I mean, yeah,
it's like it was a position made for.
Yeah, 5 people just went, God, no.
Yeah.
Qualified.
Lee is a job creator, folks.
I am. I take a lot of pride in that,
He
actually.
is though, actually. But
Yeah.
couple of quick notes around the NFL. It was cut day today. Yeah, womp womp womp. Not a lot of cuts from certain teams in the NFL. The Eagles, the only name that I really noticed was C.J. Uzomah, who was the Jets tight end last year. They cut him. Malik Willis, who was thought to be the quarterback of the future for Tennessee, got traded to Green Bay to be Jordan Love's backup. Kadarius Toney, who had he had like 3 good playoff games for the Chiefs. He was a headache for the Giants. We traded him to the Chiefs. He won a Super Bowl, and then he became a headache for the Chiefs, and now the Chiefs got rid of him too. Gable Stevenson, the former WWE, former gold medalist, former wrestling champion, former WWE prospect, who then had some controversy and then joined the Bills, and he got cut by the Bills. And then the Giants made a lot of cuts. Some of these were kind of shocking. Joshua Kelly, who was backup running back for the Chargers last year, didn't make the team. Lawrence Cager, who was our 3rd tight end last year, didn't make the team. Darnay Holmes, who was our nickelback last year, did not make the team this year. It's either the Giants are feeling really good about this draft class and that everybody's going to a lot of these rookies are going to step up immediately, or we're already giving up on the season. I don't know which. I don't know which.
If I had to guess, buddy, you're trimming the fat to create a core for the future. Giants know they're not a playoff team, and I think they're trying to build that core of the lineup. And again, you don't need guys there that are not going to fit into that. And if you're a good coach and you're in a good situation here, you're going to build a core culture around the guys that want to be there and believe in being a New York Giant. I do believe that Saquon Barkley not being there is actually a positive for the team because it clears the name, so you can start building. And these guys can, the cream rises to the top in terms of the episode today. Now you do need to draft better. Daniel Jones is not going to do it for you. I mean, I'll be the first to admit I'm wrong if he does have some magical season, but there's no statistics to show that that's going to happen. None. I did hear that. I got to ask you this too. This a little bit side talk here. So Jalen Hurts ended the preseason with 1 interception thrown.
Okay.
And training camp, practices and everything.
Yep.
And there was a reporter that said this is a bad thing because it means either that he's not trying hard enough or the play schemes are so simple. And I'm like, I don't know, man.
I think that's a stretch.
I've been watching this guy work here. This guy is a competitor. He doesn't ever smile. He wants to win. His phone wallpaper last year was him losing the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think it might just be that he's just locked in.
I think he's a great quarterback, and I think he's locked in and he's great. And that, you hear about Tom Brady talk about every snap being the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I think he's doing that.
Yeah.
All right. And he will throw interceptions and stuff.
Sure.
Like, what a stupid thing to say. Like,
that's we have nothing else to talk about.
I understood his point. Like, I understood what he was trying to say, but I was like,
sure. But that's a stretch.
Yeah. So he looks locked in. Look, the Eagles are pissed at last season. Like, they had the worst collapse in history of the franchise.
Yeah.
Right. No one's talking about that. Like, how
you guys were 11-1 and you
collapsed. Complete collapse.
Yeah.
Right. And I was fortunate enough to sit in a meeting with some high ups in the Eagles. And look, I'm not gonna lie, they danced around it a little bit, but they just basically said, like, no, we got something we got to prove this year. We made a mistake. Something went wrong. And everyone knows, from Nick Sirianni to the players, like, this is it. You don't, it's not so much Super Bowl. I mean, they really do are positioned as that, but it's like, if you guys do that again, if I don't see excellence from this team this year, gone. You're all gone.
Yeah.
So I think
house cleaning. Yep.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. Whereas on the opposite side with the Giants quarterback, the entire quarterback core threw 0 touchdowns the entire preseason.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Again, listen,
0.
I'm not going back.
0 passing touchdowns in a passing league.
It's not
1972.
I'm not going to go back on what I said in terms of the preseason not mattering. I do believe that, but at the same time, there are some numbers that are like,
you are looking for certain signs
concerning. Like, hey, did you compete? All right, I can say my team competed when our starters were out there. Oh boy, the
Can't
Giants.
say
We'll
that
see.
about
We'll
mine.
see.
Yeah.
New York's known to go on a magical run, but all eyes on the Yankees this year and the Rangers. The Giants are poop. The Jets are poop.
Yeah.
Devils will
Maybe the
know.
Knicks. Maybe the Knicks. Maybe could run.
Knicks are. I really wish they. This is the one thing I don't like about the NBA is you lose a couple players, the game's over. I really would have loved.
As long as they stay healthy. If the Knicks stay healthy, the Knicks. That's the thing.
I would have loved to see them play Boston last year. That would have been a good.
Yeah. Series. No, they just got too hurt, and like Indiana's like, we beat you, and it's like, no, health
I don't.
beats.
Yeah,
The
go
fact
watch
that
the
our
Fever.
our starting five.
Go watch
hurt.
the Fever, Indiana.
Yeah.
Is.
Yeah, Indiana was not there. Anyway,
Anywho,
you know what? This is super fun. Lee, I am not a horror guy. Not
a horror.
Not a horror guy.
Not a horror guy.
Horror, like the movie genre.
Like a New Yorker, like Yahuwah.
No, like horror, like the genre,
horror.
like
horror. Look at you with your little New York accent there, right? Horror.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that typically.
Horror.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're making me say it one more time.
Horror.
Savi, I need Savi, our producers from up in that area. Is that a New York accent? I guess I might be saying with the accent with the horror.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I don't like that particular genre usually, right? Maybe unless there's some comedy sprinkled in, like some Ghostbusters or whatever. But like a big thing for Universal, yeah. Xavier says that's just Jersey, baby. Just live with it. Anyway, as I was trying to say, Halloween Horror Nights is a big thing for Universal out here every October.
It is out here too.
Yeah. And they do a lot with all the horror genres. And basically they're like, maybe we should start doing this like in the spring with like non-horror stuff. And so that's what they're doing. It's going to be called Universal Fan Fest. And they've already announced that it's going to start with Dungeons and Dragons, Star Trek, and Back to the Future.
I need to go to Universal.
Yes, we need an immersive Back to the Future experience, 100%.
Yeah,
DeLoreans everywhere.
Everywhere, DeLorean. That's like my house.
Yes. Yeah, I think this is a great. I think this is a great idea. They should have been doing this years ago.
Get a little out of time license plate on the set here for those of you who can't see. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean, look, it's funny. You don't have to go far with me for anything Back to the Future. I got a mug in my hand right now. There's probably other paraphernalia behind me. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's the Back to the Future candy bar up there. Oh, that was my mug. Anyway, I don't know if you could hear that or not. That was actually the bell on the clock tower when it was still working. I'm looking forward to that. Both Star Trek and Back to the Future. Dungeons and Dragons should be fun too. I mean, that has a huge following. But yeah, this is a pretty smart idea that you don't have to build a whole theme park. You can just have a day or two. It's going to bring all the fans out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty smart.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that even if they do it for like a month, like they do the Halloween Horror Nights, where it's like, this is great.
Say one more time.
Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It'll be a great way to get people into the park. For sure.
What kind of mushroom? What was it? Mushroom
coffee?
Coffee. That's just making sure it's still there. Can't take the jersey out of Ray.
Nope, not at all. There's certain words, folks. There's certain words. I do a pretty good job of toning down the accent, but there are certain words that you just can't help it.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is great on Universal. This is gonna be exciting. I'm curious. They say there's gonna be more than just those three, so I'm curious to see what other announcements, come from that. But
you think they'll ever do like a Philadelphia theme day? Like we go to the Wawa, get some hoagies.
No, I don't think that's gonna be
a hoagie at the Wawa.
Tourist. I don't think it's gonna be a draw for tourists.
You don't want to have some German potato salad at the Wawa with a hoagie?
I mean, it sounds delicious. That sounds like a great lunch, but I don't think it's going to draw people to buy $100 ticket to go see inside the Universal.
They'd buy $100 ticket to leave the city. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, you go. Anyway, little Marvel news. This was fun. I'm excited to hear this. Ultron.
Yes.
One of the greatest villains. Will be played again.
Aged very well. Ultron.
Yes. And will be played by James Spader once again when the Vision Quest TV show takes place, which will finally bring back, bring back Vision, who's been missing for 4 years. So, but I'm excited to know that Ultron will be involved somehow, whether it's a ghost, whether it's like a ghost of Ultron, whether it is proper Ultron backed himself up. He's going to be the villain again. I'm curious to see how they're going to work it in, but I think
Oh,
this is
I
Vision
hope.
versus Ultron is going to be
Yeah,
great.
look, there's a lot of things you could do with the multiverse, but like it's White Vision. He would
Yeah.
naturally be curious about Ultron. I mean, Ultron
Yeah.
must still live somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Tony Stark is gone. There's a lot of different ways you can reintroduce Ultron, but the truth is this: Ultron might be the most underrated villain in all of Marvel.
Yeah.
It was a shame we only got him for one film.
Yeah.
Actually, I should say we got him for a TV show too, in terms of What If. But
What if, right?
James Spader is just one of the best actors. He's always one of the best villains. Obviously, his most
Yeah.
heroic role coming in Stargate, where he played a dork, but everybody loved him. But yeah, I'm excited to see Ultron again because he's really a fascinating character.
Yes.
I think the possibly best dialogue ever in Marvel, Ray, was when Ultron and Vision spoke at the end of Avengers
Their
2.
debate. Yeah, their
Yeah, it was
debate.
a really good talk where, Vision basically says, there's some grace in their failings, and I think you missed that. He goes,
Yeah.
"You're unbearably naive." And he goes, "Well, I was born yesterday." I mean, it's like
Yes.
really,
Yeah.
really good dialogue.
Yeah.
And we didn't see what happened to Ultron in that scene. They were very purposely vague of,
Yeah.
you're just assuming Vision kills him.
Right.
But that's not what happened, or maybe he lives
No.
in Vision now. There's a lot of things.
Yes. Trapped inside the Mind Stone before, obviously, it got the whole Infinity War stuff.
Yeah,
there's so much that could have, and they could have got released. There's so much that could be going on with that.
yeah.
So I'm
I just
curious to see.
at the time of Age of Ultron, we were all waiting for Thanos, and I think that when we saw that film, everybody kind of said, "Oh, this is like a pass-through film to get to
Yeah.
Thanos." But it has aged very well. I mean, if you watch that again, I
Yes.
would encourage everybody to watch Avengers 2 again. It's a
Yeah.
really good film, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of things in there now, like Scarlet Witch. The evolution of certain characters that now that we've seen their full arcs, that movie is really good. So I would
Yeah.
encourage everybody to watch Age of Ultron again.
Super integral to everything. Um,
It is.
yeah, yeah,
It doesn't get enough credit for that.
yeah. No, absolutely. It's really the launching off point for everything that comes after it.
Yeah,
And so
they
much, and
they
right, so
had
many
to go
ways.
through Ultron to make Thanos possible. Like there's a lot
Yes.
of things there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
100%. Speaking of movies, and new trailer dropped today. Super pumped for this.
this was fantastic.
The Sonic 3 trailer that's dropping, the movie dropping in December. We finally get our first look at Shadow, and with Keanu Reeves as the voice of Shadow. And again, the first two movies were just such love letters to the games and so brilliantly done. And Jim Carrey was absolutely brilliant. And it looks like Jim Carrey's coming back for this, which we suspected.
Twice.
And he's gonna be playing himself as well as Robotnik's grandfather in this. And it just I can't sing its praises enough. It's the perfect video game movie. They just nail it. Like
I want to take
the trailer looks phenomenal.
Yeah, let's take a more full approach from this, Ray. Like this is a film. Those who've been listening to us for years know this. This is a film that almost crashed and burned right at the start because of horrible CGI.
Almost killed Paramount.
Okay. It really did, right? And then they got it right. They went comic accurate. I'm sorry, they went game accurate, comic accurate, how you want to say it. Save the franchise, put a studio out of work in the process.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It's like this is one of those, it's kind of a funny pun. Sonic ran so Mario could jump. All right. Because if Sonic the Hedgehog didn't do as well as it did,
we would not have gotten the Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, or it would have been horrible. Like they made them accurate again. And now that we're on the third film here, another thing, just talk about this. I don't think people realize Jim Carrey is retired.
Yeah.
He does not act anymore, right?
Yeah.
Really, like he retired years ago. Like when think about
it's like this is it. This is it.
Well, what I'm saying is this. It's I mean, yes, this is probably it, but my point is he has retired. He has not do films. Name the last film you saw him in recently.
Yeah.
So he had to make a choice. If he must love playing Robotnik.
Yeah.
To the point to do this. And I remember when they casted him as Robotnik in the first film, I never doubt Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, it's gonna be interesting to see his take on Robotnik. And man, he just nailed Robotnik. I mean, he's a new Robotnik that you love. Because the Robotnik you and I grew up was like very round and different looking, right?
Yes.
And then somehow he has transformed himself into that Robotnik. And it's really cool. It's just really cool. And I really like the trailer and that Shadow, who I never thought we'd see in anything for kids,
Yeah.
It looks like he doesn't have his gun, so it looks like he has
Yeah,
more
no guns, but he's got
Yeah.
chaos control. He's got his
right.
motorcycle. He's
an
got
evolved Sonic. I mean, that's how you'd have to look at it. I mean,
yeah.
I'm gonna guess the story is Sonic has to evolve to that level.
Yeah, they're both gonna have to collect the Chaos Emeralds, and he's gonna have to go Supersonic to like
Right.
probably take him out.
Which is Yellow Sonic for those of you who don't
Yeah.
know again. But yeah, it looks great. It just looks great. There's Team Knuckles is still Knuckles. I like when he goes, I would actually like to fight. I was like,
Yes.
so and then it's kind of a reversal of Sonic 2, right? And when he goes after Shadow. So I'm interested to see where this goes. It looks like there's potential for multiple villains. Obviously, the team up with Robotnik,
Yeah.
that looks fun. I mean,
Yes.
what I like about that is it's an evolution of the story. It's the Rocky 2 kind of
Right.
story, right? And I've always loved it when they do that, because if they just brought up Robotnik back again as the villain, I would
Right, it doesn't work. But no,
yeah.
this is like Rocky 3, where now Shadow's Clubber Lang and now Apollo or
Yeah. I'm sorry, I meant
Robotnik.
to say Rocky 3. Apologies. Yes.
Yeah.
Become friends.
Yeah. At least, or
Good
at least
stuff.
temporary, at least in this case, probably temporary allies. Because
Yeah,
you know
it's
Robotnik's
not
gonna
long term.
double cross him.
Well, I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so. He likes
So
mushroom coffee too, Ray.
yes, that's true.
Because he got kicked out to a mushroom kingdom at one point.
That is also true. And yeah, I'm going to have to. I guess I don't think I can. I don't think I can grow the mustache. I don't
You
think I can
could
grow
totally
the
grow that mustache. It would actually work for you.
Maybe we'll see.
I'm telling you, it's going to take 6 years.
That's the issue. I don't
You
know
would
if I
look
have
all
the
right with a
patience.
mustache.
We'll see.
We're gonna
We'll
get some
see.
props. I'm gonna try this out.
Don't give Zavi or anything any ideas in post or anything like that or whatever.
But Ray,
Like
I just did.
I know, and that's why I'm saying don't. So anyway, one last quick story. Right before the end of the show, Nintendo had a Nintendo Direct this morning,
Yes.
which I got up early for and regretted that I did because it sucked.
What's early?
Well, for me, I got up at 6 a.m.
That's early. That
Yeah,
counts.
because the show started at
fair.
7 a.m. Pacific. So and I wanted to watch it. And I drank my mushroom coffee and I watched and I knew now before this was a third party / indie direct. So we knew we were not going to get anything Metroid or Mario or anything like that. And they also said they were not going to talk about Switch 2 here. They've got something else planned later in the year. We know that. That's fine. But was kind of disappointed overall by a lot of the announcements or lack of announcements. I will say this was great. Sea of Stars, which was my number 3 game of the year last year. If you go back and watch our top 10 games of last year, they announced a free story DLC that is going to drop at the beginning of 2025. That I did appreciate. And Neva, which is a game by the folks who made Grease. If you guys, Gris, I might be saying that wrong. Which was an indie darling several years ago. A beautiful, beautiful game. This game, Neva, looks beautiful. So I'm going to say this right now. Neva is a sleeper top 10 pick of the game of the year. I don't think it will be game of the year, but I think it might crack. It's got a chance to crack my top 10 for sure because everything I've seen is fantastic. That got an October 15th release date. I'm very excited to see how that game continues to develop. And that's only 6 weeks away. 6 weeks.
It wasn't so bad.
It wasn't so. I mean, for 40 minutes though, for me to really glom onto only 2 announcements, right? Like, look, it's hard with indie games, right? There are definitely some games that I'm like, oh, that might be interesting, or that might be cute. But then Neva is like, oh, that moved the needle. That's the game I'm locked in.
You know, only geeks wake up early for things like that.
Yes, I know.
On brand.
Yes. So anyway,
that's show. We did it.
That is
the rundown here. We went through the whole rundown.
We went down the whole thing.
There is a mashup here, Ray.
Ooh, what's the mashup?
The mashup is what hero and athlete would get mashed up perfectly together. I think that's a pretty good mashup. Like, again, we've done things like this in the past, but not if you had to merge an athlete with a superhero into one.
Yeah.
Creating a new entity. That's what we're talking about on the mashup this week.
Yes. So that'll be a lot of fun. So that'll be something to tune into later this week.
And Ray, I believe AI will be playing a role in this mashup. So you might actually be able to see some of the creations that we make.
Oh, I am terrified. I'm terrified of this. Oh boy.
So was John Connor. And guess what? It all worked out in the end. Just billions of people died. Multiple times in multiple futures.
I'm not sure if that's
dun.
Yeah.
Da-da-da, da-da-da.
Yeah. But anyway, congrats again to Will Can't Shoot for winning our Madden and college football MVP bundle edition
Great
for
handle.
Xbox Series X. Yeah, Will Can't Shoot. Congratulations, Will, over on Instagram for winning that. And thank you again to EA Sports.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
For
EA
for giving us those codes. We really do appreciate it. But yeah, so until the mashup on Saturday.
Wait a minute. We for years could have been saying Lee Ray Sports. It's in the geek. For years. Yep. We could have been doing what have we done?
Better late than never. Better late than never.
I need to go. This is a
problem. Well, perfect time to close the show then. Lee's gonna have an existential crisis, folks. Until next time, that's Lee. He'll be back, don't worry. And I'm Ray. We'll see y'all next time. This has been Geeks Who Like Sports. Good night, everybody.